episode of Back in the Day with
Back in
Mike
the day.
and Jay.
Hey, Mike.
How was your week?
Good. Shark Week's on, but I didn't get to see many of the episodes. So we could talk about that today. We're going to talk about Shark Week and some fun.
Good thing is they'll repeat them all next year.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's always a lot of the same. Then they add something new, like here's everything we showed the last 20 years and flying sharks of Borneo. Yeah.
Our host for Sharknado, the 90210, Ian Zaring, is going to be on.
Ian Zaring. Saw him at a golf course once up in Leavenworth, Kansas. I don't know what he was doing there. Was he a nice
guy or was he a jerk?
I just saw him in passing. I didn't. Yeah, I was a Dylan McKay fan. I didn't care about Steve Sanders, and that shocks me. I still remember his character name was Steve Sanders.
Yeah, I was a Luke Perry. I love Luke Perry.
Me too. Me too.
That's a shame he passed away so young, huh?
Yep.
Bad. Anyway, so how was work this week? Were you crazy busy? I think you were, huh?
Oh yeah, always. A lot of people don't pay the light bill, and they want to call me and complain. I was gonna pay it tomorrow, but you haven't paid it since.
I've been there though. AT&T. I'm gonna tell you right now. I want to get rid of them because I want to get a new phone, and they won't give it to me. But then they're trying to get other customers. I'll pay off your phone, and I'm like, I've been with them for 25 years, and I remember being so broke when I was a flight attendant first starting off, and they would let me pay like $10 a week. So I kind of I'm very loyal. I'm sorry, Michael, but that's my best quality. I'm a very loyal person.
Good. Me too.
And so AT&T, so I'm waiting on them to send me okay, we're going to give you an iPhone 12, whatever. Anyway,
they should honor you for your service. Yeah, well, thank you for staying with us.
Yeah, I cut and paste is this you trying to entice? And the guy was like, well, we can't. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I was out of a conversation with my father. My father's like, oh, we get the phones, and I'm like, oh, I've been doing that. I'm like, I don't even care, whatever. Anyways, enough about that boring ass story. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I care.
There's somebody on. Oh, that was a while ago. Thank you, though.
Thank you, anonymous person.
Mike, I didn't put on the click the Be Live, put your name up there. So I actually have to get that and post it. So, but before we do that, we just want to say hi to everybody that's joining us and probably scrolling and saying, is this live right now?
We are
live. We're live.
We are live.
And Mike, this week in pop culture, we're going over the year
1987. 777.
Monster truck guy, you sound like.
I was 26 in July of 1987.
Jeez, I was 19.
What happened?
What happened? Oh, hi, James. Oh, yeah, he showed up. Oh, nice. Whoever wished me happy birthday I don't know who that was, but thank you. I'm gonna put. It's funny how James' name came up. He must have hit the Be Live.
Must have hit it. Yeah, good for him.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, James. This is when that is when Jaws the Revenge. No Jaws the Revenge jokes.
That is, and today I believe is Lance Guest's birthday.
Oh my God. I saw that somebody posted that on one of the sites, the many hundred sites that we go on. The Jaws
60 years old. 60 years old.
Wow. And he was in the original Halloween. I didn't know that. Remember I was telling you about seeing him on there? You're really young.
No, was he in that or was he in one or two?
Oh, two.
He was in two.
It was two. Yeah, with Hendricks.
Jeff Kramer. Yeah.
Anyway, so this episode in the pop culture is, go figure, Michael, this of all the things that we love so much, like the movie Jaws, this week is none other than
bum 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 Shark Week. Boom. And let me say real quick, I apologize. My research thing I looked at said that Shark Week started in 87. It actually started in 88. But it started this week in 88, so technically we're within that year boundary either way. So
yeah, and I love it. I love it. We have a little bit of a, we usually put up like information about what it was all about, and like obviously like where they for years. I mean, you think it was like 19. I mean it. July 17th is when it originally premiered, right?
88.
1988. But it's funny because it's like 88. Wow, it's been that long. It's been on the air.
Because I can't even. You think I would have noticed it, but I really don't remember Shark Week really taking off until the mid 2000s.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden it was just like, because you remember at Jaws Fest, the second Jaws Fest, they handed out like the shark hats, and yeah, Discovery Channel was all over that,
You still have those hats? I still have those
Yes.
hats.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I remember those hats. Yep, Shark Week. And you know what's so funny? Us like Shark fans, like we were watching it before everybody else, and we were like, "Oh man, this is awesome! This is great." And then along comes Megdalon, and we're like, "What the Christ? Jesus H Christ! What the hell?" And then they call it a docu-fiction, because I was like, oh yeah, there's monsters out there that big, like Ice-T from Anaconda. This snake out there like that big.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I've never seen one.
Shark Week. Come on.
I've never seen one. So.
Oh, this Shark Week, that Megdalon one, I was watching and I'm like, oh man, my God, hello. Oh, Kelly. Hi, Kelly Devlin. Hi, James. Hi. Let's see, 61 years old. The Last Starfighter. Yes. Actually, yes. Good call, James. Yes. What a great movie.
So first movie I ever put together by myself when I was working in the theaters.
Really?
Yep. And I put it together on the platter, and I went to watch it, make sure I put it together right. And it came on in reverse. And because I didn't know any better, or I knew, but every time when something happens, you always think of the worst thing it could be.
Yeah.
You don't think of the simplest thing. So all I had to do was reverse the film in the projector, put it in the gate to the soundtrack on the other side. So I went to take it apart again, and it's back then it was a platter system, like a big 8-track player, where it starts in the middle, goes to another platter, and winds itself up in the middle. Well, I went to back it off, and I forgot to put the ring in the middle, and I threw it off the platter. And here it is, like 2:30 in the afternoon. First show is 7:30. So I end up.
Like you have to. What do you have to do? Like
So I literally had to take that film and straighten it out. I was running, it was through the lobby, everything, trying to get everything and break it off at the reel change. And at 5 o'clock, my district manager called me, and he goes, "So everything ready for tonight?" And I was like, Oh, gotta go. I didn't tell him. And I finally, at 7:27, I had everything put back together, and we got the first show off. But I was just like,
you'll never forget that, right?
Yeah. And then afterwards, I was telling someone the story, and they said, "Oh, the image was reversed. Oh, you should have just turned it around. You had to thread it up wrong." And I was like, "Son of a bitch!" Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. You have like experience, like when you had to put the cameras up there and be there in that room.
Yeah,
like,
but it's just like one night we had the sound went out, and we're up there taking apart the Dolby rack and trying to figure out what it is. And what it is, it was a sensing light. It was a little 30-cent light bulb that burned out that reads the soundtrack. So that's all it was. We end up having to call the technician guy, and he comes out and goes, "Your bulb's out." I'm like, yeah.
That's how it is with me. With like, remember I was sitting there going, "Why won't this come on live?"
Yeah.
Like I went to the Be Live company, the app with this, and they couldn't figure it out. And then I'm like, I figured it out. It was a goddamn time change from Arizona to East Coast. You're like, what? Hours upon hours of my life to take that back. But yours is more like,
guys, like, here, you need.
Go ahead, Mike.
You need a new bulb. $300, please. $300, please. Yeah.
That's cool because you know like how to put the reel on the projector and all that. Like that's awesome. That's pretty cool.
We went to see, I think it's The Guardian, whatever, the Kevin Costner, Ashton Kutcher movie, and nowadays it's all kids in the booth. And Keith will tell you this. Keith was a theater manager. It's all kids in the booth, and they don't care about presentation. But whoever had threaded it up had it too high in the gate. So it was always like if this was you either saw this or you saw this. You didn't see the whole frame. And finally, I had to go up. I had to go to the kid that was a manager and said, "Hey, may I go up to your booth and fix this?" Oh yeah,
Why?
you know how to fix? You know how to fix it? Yeah, I do. So yeah.
Why? Because why were they shocked that you know how to fix it? Because they had to have
because they're thinking, well, I'm a projectionist. I don't know how to fix it. Well, you're a
oh,
kid.
you have to be a projectionist.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, step aside. I know
Get
that.
out of the way.
Right?
No,
Well, they must have
if I,
loved you there. You were like a jack of all trades, right?
yeah. I came back down to theater. Everybody applauded. Like, yay.
You must have loved your job back then because you were like so into movies. Like I bet you
I did. Oh, I did. I loved it. I eventually got burned out because of the company I worked for was run by idiots, but I loved it. I loved it, and I love this job that I have now. I'm very, very lucky. Let me name drop here for a second.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood once told me that that anytime you can go to work and it's not a job, everything's good. When it becomes a job, it's when you got to go find something else. And I've never gone to work thinking, I got to go to work today.
That's good, Mike. Well, most people can't say that, you know.
Yeah.
Most people can say that. Kelly says she's been watching Shark Week since the early 90s.
Oh, good for you. And Shark Week used to be just in Washington. It used to be very informational and have some stuff, but then you got like Sharknado and Sharknado 12, and it's funny because Mike Gencarelli, my Media Mike's partner, he is in Shark Week or Sharknado 3.
Oh, really?
And there is a shark in Sharknado 2. You know when they show a shark flying by and they freeze frame it and put it up. The scientific name. Yeah. Well, the director is a good friend of Mike's, and one of the sharks, I want to say it's a Carcharodon mediamicus. So yeah. Carcharius.
Yeah,
it's a Carcharodon mediamicus.
It's a Carcharion carcharias. That's a great.
You ever thought of making a movie, Mike? Oh yeah. I used to. I did. I actually in high school I made the Terminator before the Terminator.
You were supposed to see. What about the Star Wars thing? Remember you told me about that? You said you had like. Remember, was it you that told me that you had like a little clip of something when you did when you were younger, and you still have?
Yes, I have a film I did after high school, which was a parody of Star Wars. That I actually have to have transferred to DVD and do a director's commentary and fancy credits with. Hopefully it'll see that. Yeah, it'll be coming out. Hopefully I'll get it done this year.
Yeah, I'd love to
but
see that.
I actually my guidance counselor in school, Robert McGinnis, he passed last year. He's a great guy, huge influence in my life. But he knew I liked movies. And MacDill Air Force Base is right near where I went to high school. And they had approached him about if anyone in school wanted to make a film. They would give them the equipment and the film. And the only thing was you had to run a Air Force commercial before it. And he came to me and I literally remade 5 scenes from Jaws. I reshot them with my friends. Melody Pye was Mrs. Kittner. And she kept practicing slapping me.
I never knew this. This is so cool.
It was fun. I was Brody instead of the glasses.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Hey,
Todd.
I have to interrupt you, but folks,
sure.
Those of the people that don't watch the Let's Talk Jaws live show, Michael is told stories by. Michael actually was the president of the Roy Scheider fan club, and also. The president of the Richard Dreyfuss fan club. So, a funny story is Michael actually got a phone call from Roy Scheider. And can you imagine that? Like it's, having him call you like that was when you told that story.
He called me at home the last day of filming on Jaws 2, the day they killed the shark. And he called me, he called me and he says, it's dead. I'm going home. And I was like, good for you. Go home.
If I was 16, I would have been just like, oh my God, it's Roy Scheider. Roy Scheider is just was an angel. Because he didn't have to do that. They don't do movie stars a day. They don't do that now. It's like
he was very fan friendly. I saw him interact with fans. I answered. I got all his fan mail and stuff that people sent that they wanted. Because I had a supply of autographed pictures that he'd signed. Somebody wants a picture, you'd mail it out. But if somebody sent in something special that he wanted to sign, I would send it to him in New York. He would sign it, send it back. People that were in the Air Force with him, I'd send him their letters. He'd get in touch with them. When he hosted Saturday Night Live, I went up and got to hang backstage while they did it, and to see people after the show coming up to him, and he was super nice.
Oh,
nice guy.
Awesome. That is awesome. Michael also has a shirt that says "I miss Roy Scheider" with like Charlie Brown's head down, like it's the best shirt. But we got off topic here.
Yes,
Kelly
once again,
right? Kelly says, "I remember
both of these shows."
Yeah, I remember when I discovered the great whites weren't quite the solitary creatures they thought. Love the old Shark Week and the science. You got that right. What's weird about it is it was actually going to be devoted to like conservation efforts, like correcting like misconceptions about the sharks.
Yes,
because Peter Benchley came on and hosted in '94, right, Mike? I think it was '94.
I believe so, early '90s.
Yeah, and I mean, him and his wife Benchley are like avid, like they try to promote. Even though that movie looks as though the shark, and after that movie, there was a lot of killings of great whites, and they didn't want that. So they came out, and Wendy Benchley, tell them about Wendy Benchley, has her.
She has her own little organization.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I lived in Florida, and I would go to where they would shark fish up the pier. They would take a line with a big piece of bait and put it on a boat and take it way out there. But anything that was a shark, they were killing it. They were bringing it up and cutting its head off, taking the jaws.
Jesus.
And Peter Benchley really, I'm sure he doesn't regret that he wrote Jaws, but he regretted the way people saw sharks. They saw them as these evil monsters, and they aren't. So he did a lot of work. He and Wendy with conservation and protecting them.
Bad name though. It's actually the tiger sharks and the white tips of the USS Indianapolis that took out all those guys. I mean, like I was just watching like some of the USS Indianapolis. I think there's only like one survivor left actually of that. I might have passed away. I could be wrong, but the stories, it's exactly the way, Clint was talking about taking the, and if you ever get it's good to watch the history of that because it's 4 days. I mean, you had to, for those men that survived, they just wanted to, the guys who said that they'd swim out and that they would give up, don't swim out because then all of a sudden you'd be like, that's it,
You're dead.
It's so sad, the USS Annapolis. That is so sad.
Well, in 2010, there was a special screening of Jaws up in Omaha.
Yeah.
That Carl was at, and I went up there, and they had a gentleman named Clarence Hupka, who was a survivor of the Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And, where I was sitting, I could see him watching the movie. And I thought how eerie that must be to hear Quint basically telling your story. So,
I think I said that I'll never put on a life jacket again. And then what that says about Robert Shaw as being an amazing actor and still the classic actor, he was just researched everything. He researched that accent, that Jesus H. Christ, that USS Indianapolis. He researched, he could do, let's go back on Robert Shaw, but obviously Richard Dreyfuss is an amazing actor too. They've got,
all three of them were.
All of them. The 3 R's. The 3 R's, and
I think, the more I thought about it, because, there's a scene where he's reaching for he puts his hand up and the life jacket's there. And then when he comes out, he gives one to Brody and Hooper. And I think it was survivor's remorse. I think he wouldn't put on a life jacket because he felt guilty that he lived. That's what I get out of it.
No, that's exactly it. Yeah. That's exactly it. That's God, that explains the hatred for the sharks that he has, that's the whole story, the spoof. But Kelly, oceanic white tips, they were the biggest culprits of the shark. Yep, they were. And then tigers are the worst too, because tigers are really bad because they'll bite you, and they'll swim around, and then they'll come in and bite you.
Come back, and bite you again.
And these great whites, they chomp you like, oh God, that wasn't a seal, and spit you out. I mean,
yeah,
it's like, but there has been some that are really hungry, that are hungry, that I actually saw a few of the things. I'm like, I did not want to see that. Like there was one in, came up and, took it down, even though he thought it wasn't a seal, he took it.
Yeah.
But here we are talking about sharks. It's back in the day. Here we are talking about sharks and Jaws again. That always goes back to Jaws.
So that's the excitement of Shark Week.
Shark Week. Wait, when we have to talk about, Peter Benchley was hosting it. You think it's like like Kelly said, like when it was so scientific, like back when the channel Bravo was all about, theater and this, and now it's all about like reality and all that. Like it's almost like Shark Week has just gone like, what do you call it?
Exploitation.
And commercial, like
commercial, and
they sold out. What was it? They sold out, right? Yeah. But I just get a kick out of it when I saw the Megalon threw me. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is bullshit. And then Tyson versus the shark. I actually had to turn into that last year. Remember that? That was funny. And then I had seen, was it Will Smith last year that did Swim with the Sharks? Or was that?
It's something with, I think it was Will Smith.
That was pretty cool. I like that. But the docu-fiction, I love how they say that, and people actually believe that stuff. Like it's like, hey, it's a like David Bigelow says, docu-series and documentary and docu-fiction are all different.
Yep, very.
Yep, Shark Week, jump the shark like Fonzie. We were just talking about that, Mr. Holland's Opus. Oh, yes, you do. He's like, is there a shark in it? I'm like, no, there's not, but it's the best movie ever. Anyway, so Shark Week, you got to tune in. Actually, when we went to Jaws Fest, one more thing about Jaws, we met Greg Skamal, who's actually the one that put all the original pins on the sharks. Remember, and he was on the board, the in the church. He was up there answering questions. So that was cool when I watched him on Jaws. When we watch him on Shark, we go like, hey. Well, you already know, Michael.
I know you. We know you.
Yeah, when I was, Joe Alves was sitting next to me with my boyfriend. I'm like, can we switch seats? I told you that story. But, and Patches was up there. Patches. You need to watch Mr. Holland's Opus. Okay, so on to the next thing on pop culture here at Back in the Day, not Jaws Live. It's me. That's me. I keep doing it.
We should just call this. We should call our shows Off Topic with Mike and Jay.
Off Topic. No. So actually, it's been the longest running cable television program event in history in over 72 countries. So and it's still on. So check it out. And I guess they have Sharknado something on, but I'm not going to be watching that. But if you're just watching this now, we usually pre-record. We decided to go live tonight, and we wanted to have some interaction, and we have Kelly and James. Thanks, guys, coming on and saying hello. That's really nice of you. And if you're watching this after we broadcast, please feel free to comment. And if you like it live, and we come on, because we have a blast when we talk to people and even bring them on as guests. I don't know if Keith's going to come on, but I asked him. But so let us know. We could do this like every 2 weeks or something, Mike, because our schedules are kind of crazy.
Yeah, but that's fun.
So we usually talk about the TV show back in the day, and then we start off with a movie of that year, and it goes like in the year, but we can go off like into different months. So but usually we talk about the movie, talk about the pop culture, the movie, the TV, and then the song of the top 100 billboards.
That's us.
I love the next topic we're talking about, and it's been on, I would say, like 4 times this week. Why am I don't like that. Hold on one second. I like being there. Okay. It's been on. Hey, Nate, what's going on, Nate? How you doing? The movie's been on about, I don't know, 8 times this week, and I've watched every single one of them, even Robo 3. And I know. I don't want to be like Victor about what I'm talking about. I don't want to destroy everybody's goal. But I'll watch it anyway because it's a guilty pleasure. But we're talking about the one, the only.
Bum, bum, bum. RoboCop.
RoboCop. RoboCop. And we have our own commentator, Keith Stevenson, who is going to give us a little review and commentary of the movie. And then we're going to show you the badass trailer clip to the movie. Wasn't it still good to this day, though, right, Mike? It's
oh yeah, it definitely holds up.
He turns a corner, you know, and he's just like so cool. Alex Murphy, gotta love him. But yeah, so I don't know who's on, but Mike, while I'm trying to look for that, do you mind answering if anybody has any questions at all? I don't even know if
let's see. I forgot we were live. I didn't bring my iPad in.
I think it's Nate's here, Kelly's here, James here. Anybody else who's new? Hi, how are you? And welcome. And if you want to comment, even after the show ends, please tell us what you want to talk about. If anybody, you know who I thought was on here is Jack O'Halloran from Superman 2, the actor.
He's on our site.
I think he is because I think he's
nice.
I saw the name and I'm like, and if you don't know Jack O'Halloran, he was in Superman 2.
Nod.
Yeah, so if he's watching,
he's the big burly guy. Yeah,
we'd love for you to come on.
Yes, definitely.
Dominic Mancini, you know, and bring him our way. I
think Derek. Can't remember his last name. I think Derek rips Jack O'Halloran. We'll get him on. We'll get somebody on.
Yeah, it was violent. Let's see. My son loves the 80s, which makes mistakes of watching it when he was 9. I forgot how rough the movie was. It turned off quick. You know what, though? That movie, the one scene, it does give me the chills and it bugs me and I get creeped out every time, is when he does fall in that toxic waste and he gets up and that scene
is
it freaks me out, and then they hit him like that. Just gives me that scene still to this day. I'm like, oh, hi, Donna. How are you, Donna?
Hey, Donna.
Okay, so here's Keith Stevenson with a review of RoboCop. Every week we do the review of the movie. Keith is a commentator, and also Matthew Drenenberg, who does our top billboard, and he's a musician and he's amazing. So here's Keith with the RoboCop review.
Hey, Keith Stevenson here today with Back in the Day with Mike and Jay talking about RoboCop. Today, RoboCop came out in July of 1987, directed by Paul Verhoeven. It also spawned 2 sequels and a reboot, which I found to be mediocre. You know, it was good for one viewing, and personally for me, that's going to be it. But RoboCop does have a cult following. It is a cult classic. It is also starring Nancy Allen. Shout out to Nancy, who is my Facebook friend. Also starring Peter Weller, who plays RoboCop, and Kurtwood Smith, who is the ringleader of the gang that takes out Peter Weller before he becomes RoboCop. Nasty villain he plays. I mean, man, this guy was sadistic. He played the part very well. RoboCop, I give it a thumbs up. And pushing it back to you, Mike and Jay, with Back in the Day. And as always, be cool and keep watching the movies.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, buddy. Good job. Good review.
Awesome.
Yes.
He's awesome. Anyways, yeah, RoboCop, Nate. Yeah, well, yeah, it happens though. Look at Gremlins. I mean, you know, you have that one scene. Look at Jaws. I mean, the whole quit scene. I think that both of those scenes, the estuary scene is even bad. But all right, well, here it is. I love this. This is kick-ass. This is probably one of the most classic movies. It still holds in its time too. Here we go, folks. And this is actually brought to you by Fandango. This is a clip of theirs, but this is the YouTube page. And it's called Movie Clips Classic Trailers. I want to make sure that I give them credit. And you can follow them and subscribe to them. So we're gonna let you enjoy this lovely trailer of Alex Murphy and the original RoboCop trailer.
We get the best of both worlds. The fastest reflexes modern technology has to offer, onboard computer-assisted memory, and a lifetime of on-the-street law enforcement programming. It is my great pleasure to present to you RoboCop.
He's not a guy, he's a machine.
Old Detroit has a cancer. Cancer is crime.
Let the woman go. You are under arrest.
You better back up, pal!
Your move, creep.
What are your prime directives?
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney.
What is this?
Anything you say may be used against you.
He's a cyborg, you idiot! We recorded every word you said.
You're dead.
Oh,
We killed you.
His memory's admissible as evidence. You're gonna have to kill it. Get out of the car, for God's sake!
yeah, badass.
RoboCop, the future of law enforcement.
Woohoo! RoboCop, RoboCop.
From the now defunct Orion Studio, which won the Best Picture in 1991 and 1992, and then went bankrupt.
Orion.
So,
I remember every single movie that always had Orion in the beginning of that. You're right.
Yeah.
It is a great movie. It is. It's a great movie. I love it. Alex Murphy. Like that old scene goes, I'd buy that for $1. And the second one I love is like, what does he say? You two behave. I hate that line. It's the most funniest line. That was the Terminator score in the trailer. Was it?
Yes, now that I think about it, maybe it was, yeah.
Oh boy. Uh-oh. Well, I got the wrong clip then. Oh, good Lord. I'm gonna have to go back now and listen to it. My bad. Good James Scott. He's on it.
Oh, they do that all the time. If you watch a trailer for Backdraft, it's the music from Glory.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because a lot of times when they show a trailer, the movie's not even finished. So they just find something that sets the mood. So
I will bring you in either dead or alive.
Or alive.
What was the first bad guy? I remember the second bad guy was with the nuke, remember, in the neck.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I just watched both of those movies and I'm already forgetting the bad guy's name in the first one. But there was the two bad guys. But that movie was awesome. I think that movie was great. Still holds to this day. I saw the remake. It was pretty good, but not as good as the original. Sorry.
Who played the cop? Because wasn't Michael Keaton in it, but he wasn't RoboCop.
No, you mean the original RoboCop?
No, in the remake. I didn't see the remake.
The RoboCop remake. I think I forget his name. Wasn't it the guy from was it Joel Kinnaman or something like that? I think his name is Joel Kinnaman. Yeah, Joel Kinnaman.
I don't know.
He's actually in
Joel Egerton?
No, Joel Kinnaman. He was actually, oh God, what was the name of that? I always forget the movie. With oh my God, it's gonna come to me now. Here we go. I think I did his damn.
Where's Victor when you need him?
I know, right? No, it was his name is Joe. His name was, I'm looking it up now. Yep, I was right. Joe Kinnaman played Alex Murphy. And then are you talking about in the original? We already know that was Peter Weller, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I was just wondering who played Murphy in the remake.
Yeah, that was his name.
Because I'd heard Michael Keaton was in it, but he wasn't. Obviously, he wasn't the RoboCop.
No, he was Joe Kinnaman. Joe Kinnaman. I know you know who he was. He's actually he's getting to be famous, but he's in a bunch of movies. Like he's almost like he's known for the RoboCop. He played him. Suicide Squad. Remember, he was the guy that was like a jerk. Suicide.
Oh, okay.
He was a jerk that was trying to get them all to, was trying to get the kid. And his girlfriend was the I don't remember. You know what I'm talking about. He played the bad guy. Well, he was a cop, but he was a bad guy. Kane. Yes. Kane. Wait. Kane was the second one, right? RoboCop 2, James? Kane? Yeah, that was with the nuke. Who was the first one? I forget. It'll come to me. Clarence Boddick, he got it already. Look at that. Yeah,
nice.
James, you're on fire, as I even say in Boston. Fire. You're on fire, buddy. He's like, we're gonna watch RoboCop 3. I love RoboCop 3 is with the guy from Thinner. I forget him. I'm sorry, his name. The guy that plays in Thinner. He plays Alex Murphy, and it's not the original Peter Weller, but it's on a scale from 1 to 10. I would have to say it was. What do you think, James? About I don't want to diss anybody's work. I don't like to diss anybody's work, you know.
True.
I just have to say that I'll probably give it, you know, like a 7 or something, you know, like it wasn't the best, but I mean, I was still entertaining. We watched it. Hi, Antonio. How are you? Good. Glad you took it. I think Dennis Quaid. Now that goes Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid would buy that for $1. He was in Jaws, who was in Jaws 3D. And supposedly was on cocaine the whole time. Cocaine falls were presently happening on the set of Jaws 3D. But I guess if you ask Joe Alves, he's just like, I know nothing. Michael. And then I couldn't remember his name. And you're like, how do you know that? I'm like, what was his name? I still forget. It wasn't Colonel Klink. It was what? I know.
Oh, Sergeant Schultz.
Sergeant Schultz. I know
Sergeant
nothing.
Schultz.
James, I'm telling you, you are good. 5 out of 10. Yeah. Robot ninjas. Oh, yeah. Will you two behave yourselves? That's the second one. I'm like, oh, good Lord. No, it's not Thursday. This is back in the day. This is when we go over pop culture. We're going over the year 1987, the weeks from July 19th to July 25. And the movie was RoboCop, and it was awesome. And if you have never seen RoboCop, I recommend seeing it because it was amazing. And that's it. Does anybody else have anything? Oh, hi. How are you? Oh, there she is, Sonia.
Oh, Jane,
Sonia.
Hello.
Hello. I love it when he said Clarence Boddicker. Yep, that was him.
Yep.
And now we're going to move on to our next thing that we do here back in the day, and that is Michael.
Music.
Pop music. Pop.
Should sing
pop,
it.
Pop music.
M.
Pop music. Isn't pop music called pop music? Like the song is called pop music, but the band's called pop music too.
Band's called M.
Oh, M. See,
M.
Michael's facts, man.
But
up there. I gotta have Michael's
need
facts.
James's facts for today.
I know he's on fire. I can admit. Well, if Victor was here too, he'd be like right there with him. But I don't know. James is good with this. I like how he got the 2 bad guys in a row, and I just watched it. I watched it all last week. Okay, so the number 1 song, I guess, was from that held it actually for like 4 months was Heart. But we have Matthew, who does our music commentary and performance. He is going to do the number 3 song from the Billboard Top 100. And that would be
U2. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Good old Bono. How are you doing, Michael and Jay, before we put we're doing good. Who is that? We don't know. I have to put the make your name on the top of this page so that we see your comments. In other words, you click it and then you allow this app to put your name on this. That's why your name's not showing. So anyways, that's so nice, Kelly. Look at that, saying hi to other people. So sweet. Anyways, here we go. We're gonna get Matt, and Matt did an amazing job with Gib last week, man. I'm telling you. That Gib, did a good job, right?
Almost too amazing.
Like really good.
Yeah.
Like really, really good.
That Matt sure can sing. Yeah.
But anyway, so it will be by Matthew as I'm loading it right now, and we are going to bring that up. And I just want to take us down and have him up, and I just want to make sure that the volume is still is going to be on. I'm guessing it is because I took us down for the RoboCop. So
I can hear that.
Yeah. So we're going to bring Matt up here, and this is Matt right here. And that, hi, Matt. And he's going to
get a haircut.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good. And he had broken, what did he do? His arm, he had surgery.
Shoulder surgery. Yeah.
Shoulder surgery, yeah. So we're going to let him give the commentary about the song, and he's going to sing along to the song. He's going to sing the song, basically. And here it is as we disappear and let him.
Hey guys,
it's going to be a delay.
Going to do another song from back in the day. Today we're going to do the number 3 song on the countdown this week, back in 1987, which would make it I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2. Written by the band, credited to U2. Very critically acclaimed song. Many people actually consider it one of the best songs of all time. Rolling Stone actually had a 500 greatest songs of all time, and this came in at number 93. Awesome tune. Comes off the Joshua Tree, which is also very highly acclaimed. This would mark the first time in the band's history that they would have 2 releases back-to-back number 1s, the first being of this grouping, With or Without You. And without any further ado, here we go with some U2.
But yes, I'm still running. You took the bars and you loosed the chains, carried the cross of my shame, of my shame. You know I believe it, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. No, I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
awesome, awesome tune. Just incredible, man. You too. They just rock it. That's pretty much it for this time, guys. So, hey, peace and love, man. Be nice to each other out there. Take care.
Thanks, Matt. Awesome as always, man. He rocks.
Always. You
He
got a little.
rocks.
You got a little because he doesn't have his guitar. Because in the band he didn't play a lot. Yeah. But he can work the crowd. He started getting the fist pump going. I got to dig out. I've got an old video from band practice. I'll have to put up online once just to see him in the 80s when he was wearing the leather pants.
Yeah, actually,
doing all that.
He's really he's got his own YouTube page, Matthew Drinenberg.
Yeah.
Go to his site. He's awesome. He's awesome. He's a great guy too. I feel so bad because I always have problems with his videos. And I was saying something earlier, like, send me this and send me that. And I'm like, no, never mind, I got it. He's probably like, what is going on? Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. We want to thank you all. Michael, we're not going to promise this every week, but maybe every other couple weeks. Live, right?
Go live. That'd be great.
So James, Kelly, Antonio, Nate, let's see who else. James Scott, obviously, Kelly Devlin, Nate Jones. You guys, thanks, Donna. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. If you're new and you're watching this, please leave your name and comment. We'd love to hear from you and let us hear your stories and
share the page with your friends.
Yeah.
We've jumped up. We've added almost 200. I want to say 200 fans in the last 2 weeks. So keep it going. We appreciate it.
Okay. Well, have a good night, guys. We'll tell you that. James, you're awesome. Thank you, James. That's so nice. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Be sure to like, post, comment, share, and show your pictures, man. Bring your pictures back to the 80s.
87. Good year.
Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.